especially in PvZ, where you don't have to invest a ton of money just to wall off, and then you put all your gateways in, like what happened to Parting today, where he, well, I'll talk about that later. Anyway, so we have at the top, bottom, the, what is this position? I guess like 11 o'clock position. MochaBear. And then on the bottom right, in the 4 o'clock position, we've got jwholla. Cool. So that was a really cool game. Really well played. Yeah, they got rid of. So in the most recent patch, they got rid of this watchtower and this watchtower right here. I wish I wasn't. I'm not a. Anyway, so yeah, they got rid of these watchtowers. Literally, like especially for Zerg, keep a watchtower, keep a ling here, keep a ling here, keep a ling here, and keep a ling here. You literally have vision of this entire horizontal span of the cross section of the map, and that's so that's really powerful. It's like they're just too strong in terms of like watchtowers. So this is kind of cool because now it allows for a lot more sneakier plays. You can probably fit like a Rax. I don't know if you can fit an add-on, but you can fit like a proxy Robo or proxy Stargate, whatever. You can do a lot of things like that. Alright, see, I like this. This is really cool. Set small goals for yourself. Say, okay, I'm not gonna get supply blocked here, you know, and then just go and don't get supply blocked. I always tell myself I'm not gonna get supply blocked the entire game, which is obviously very. It's not as feasible to, especially if you're like a lower level, to just be like, I'm not gonna get supply blocked at all, and then just go and play and just not get supply blocked. So you've got to. You'll generally have this. This is generally a good way to go about it. You pick a problem, you go find a problem, and say, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fix this issue right now. So for Rowan, he's got 2 issues right now that I've been really trying to work with him. Would be using the Hellions, right? So you want to use those Hellions that you get if you get mech, right? And you want to constantly produce them, because what are they gonna? They're there for buffer, right? They're there to allow your tanks to do damage, but at the same time, like to not get like just stimmed into and killed, right? But it also allows like people who like to punishes anyone who goes like very heavy early Marines. It also allows people who are very bad at controlling armies or bad at judging army splits or all sorts of things like that. It allows them to suffer. And if you suffer from a problem that Rowan has where you don't make SCVs as often, or the only way you come back, right, is you get, at that point your edge would have to be in your army or your economy, right? You need to get the economy, you either push like right then, right, you're working, like, that's how all-ins work, right? You cut probes, cut SCVs, so you take away your economics, so the other person gets an economic edge, but you have the army edge, you have the tech edge to kill them, right? In this situation, you've got, or for Rowan, he's trying to play for the economic, he's trying to get himself an economic edge and an army edge, but to do that, you can't not make SCVs, and if you're stuck in a position, you have to harass in some way, and the best way with mech is Hellions, right? And if you Banshees and Starport are technically not considered mech, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they're just considered Sky Terran. But if you're in a position where you get Banshees can work as well. But you generally want to use your Starports to like pump out Vikings, because you don't want like your opponents to simply just drop all over you, right? In any matchup you go mech, you don't want roach drops, like all the massive overlords flying over you. You don't want a bunch of war prisms flying over you, dropping immortals. You don't want like the entire Terran army on like with 8 medevacs on top of your tanks, right? So that's what you use the Vikings to. You use them to zone out the army and make sure your mech is safer, right? So here we have the same strategy. We reactor Hellion into Topple Factory from last time, and here we've got jwholla pushing out. We got a little deviation though, because last time we saw him get an early factory in the Banshees and after the reactor Hellion, but this time he's going for a 3 racks, similar, like a very TVP style again. 3 racks, getting a factory. Let's see if he, but he'll make tanks most likely. Getting Stim, unlike PB Ninja, who always opted for combat shield first. Stim is more of, I think, I prefer Stim personally, but I don't really have a reason. I just like Stim. So this is smart. Poke up, see what happens. So he sees this. He sees the bunker, and that's it. So if you want to do that, you push up from this side. You can see if there's an expo, because especially when you play in TVT, there's a lot of one base plays. So you want to know if that's a situation, if that's going to be a problem. Also, MochaBear needs to saturate his gas. Gas is the limiting factor in mech. So gas is the limiting factor in, oh, and you also don't want 4 here, but gas is the limiting factor in mech. So you need to get all the gas you want, and there we go. And then he sees this, he's gonna throw down another one. When you're in a situation like this when you're going mech, it's really good to lift your factory, I mean your barracks, and fly it around. Like, it literally is just a great scout. Like just keep the factory here, I mean keep your barracks over here, so if he's trying to push to your 3rd, you have an idea. Or keep your barracks here and just like send it in there. Like you'll have extra minerals as mech, right? So you can afford to lose 150 mineral barracks and just rebuild another one if you need more factories, right? So cool. So MochaBear's pushing with these Hellions. He sees no 3rd. But he does not know, again, has no idea. This is all he sees. He does not know if he's expanding. This could be anything. This could have been like a 1 base play. I mean, most likely you see 3 racks in a factory like this. You assume that 1 rack's expanded, but you need to see this. You need to know that this happened. Right. So, oh, clutch scout. This is a real. See, look. Like, if he, like, last game, he just kept his Hellions at the watchtower. I think because this map doesn't have watchtowers, he didn't keep it. Oh, look, he scouts both of them. Both of them. Really nicely done. Really nicely done. But, so generally, you want to pull back with this. So, yeah, MochaBear sees this. He's getting ready. Sieges up the tanks. There's no defense. They have this tank here for defense here. Generally, what people do is when they see a drop, when their drop gets scouted, they just pull back, right? Because the opponent's just gonna get some defense, right? So you don't want to just sacrifice these units, because now part of what makes drops good is the surprise factor. Now you see MochaBear has all his SCVs rallied to, there we go. No, yeah, all his SCVs are, 3 of his SCVs are following an SCV, which is a huge problem. Oh, whoa. That's so many SCVs, like 5 or 6. So, this is actually a pretty good spot. What you should do, what jwholla could do at this point, let's see. What he can do at this point is pick off these depots. This is 32 supply worth of depots. Just these two. And they have the same amount of health as these. Kill these. MochaBear will not get supply blocked, but he's also not he's just been not making units. If he was, he would have gotten supply blocked. If he'd have macroed. So now we're just seeing marine tank from jwholla, medevacs, upgrades. Needs to hotkey his upgrade. Needs to definitely hotkey these suckers, so you can keep up with the upgrades. What is he now? Oh, 0-0, and then we have MochaBear with his tanks 1-0, so +1 armor. Really good choice. Armor is awesome versus, I don't know how mech exactly works, but armor in just general is really good when facing marines, because their DPS is so high. Look at this. So he takes the advice we just gave him. Has 500 minerals, right? He's spending all his money this time. He's making Hellions. He's still got a ton of Hellions. He needs to work on harassing with these. So he's got a ton of Hellions. He's got these missile turrets preventing drops. Now MochaBear can simply take these rocks down, take a third, and yeah, and push with Hellions while he takes his third. He's got a CC done. There's no reason to not to move it now. So he goes. He'll send like, I wonder if he noticed. I think he noticed because he used all of them to make supply depots. But yeah, you just send a couple of them, like 5 or 6. Just make a bunch of turrets here. Send a couple of tanks, siege them up here, and throw down your CC, and then your Hellions are going harassing. This is really good. I was going to comment on it earlier. He's playing it like a PVZ, or a TVZ, where you wall off. You don't want any like run-bys, so you keep this off. The Hellions aren't going to actually do much to these barracks. They're not going to do anything. So at this point, he's pretty locked down. But you need to be active with these Hellions. Like, see when he moves out. When he moves out, the second he moves out, run in. Scout with these. You have a really fast unit that's really dirt cheap, and since he's going mech, it's free. The units are essentially free. So why not? So why wouldn't you just use them up? You get a couple, like maybe 2 more factories that are making these Hellions, and bam, you're set. So like right now, he would have been able to scout that he's pushing out, pushed right up through. Maybe even if he probably wouldn't have been able to enter this, but he would have definitely been able to get into the third. He killed all these SCVs, right? Because he's got blue flame as well, I believe. Yes, he does have blue flame. So MochaBear has no idea this push is coming. This is not bad. This is pretty good. Not as necessary, but PF is nice addition. You just need he just needs to use his 1300 minerals to create a turret ring, and he's set. So he sees that he scans, right? He sees there's nothing but Hellions here. What's going to stop him? This Hellion, pretty good call. Pretty good call. I like this Hellion because you can see it, but it would be so much better if he saw the push way earlier. So now he knows he should seize up his tanks, but now there's no defense here, right? Like these command centers are just gonna die or get cancelled. And these Hellions, what they're gonna do? Nothing. Right now, yeah. So literally, those were 2 command centers that were almost completed. So now he loses all his Hellions for free. Oh, my bad. I didn't have this open this entire game. Whoops. Yeah, so look at this huge supply lead. He's playing it really safe. He can easily just tank. You can probably do a tank push up here. Problem is that he's behind on upgrades, which is really, I'm happy to see from MochaBear, because that MochaBear's ahead in upgrades, because it's not something that I usually see. Does he know how? Okay, I'm assuming these hotkeys are wrong, because I can't imagine that there's no hotkey for this army. No, he's probably right. So he scans, sees that he picked up, so puts some drops. Now MochaBear sees that jwholla is left, so he needs to throw down those CCs back, CCs again, right? And keep making more Hellions. These Hellions are so important. Like he has a factory here without any add-ons. There we go. But he chooses a tech lab, which is fine. But he needs Hellions as well. He has mech units, but he needs Hellions because he needs something to buffer. Because without the Hellions, the tanks are just sitting there, unable to move, while he can simply just stim in, right? And he's got so many Marines compared to the Marauders, so these Hellions would even be great in fights. Alright, so that was a very iffy engagement for jwholla. Because part of this is because of all these Marines. They make these are way too many Marines for to go up against mass siege tank Hellion, right? I missed this drop, but it's okay. So he just stims in. Oh, I don't know if this is a good idea from jwholla. He kills the third, which is nice, and kills a lot of the Hellions. And actually, that worked pretty well. See, like the Marauders are the ones that are living. The tanks are all dead. The Marines are all dead. Now he has nothing. He doesn't have these Vikings, which would be amazing to use right now. Oh, if he had Vikings, he could have just sniped these off. And now all these SCVs are still rallying here, and he can't do anything. This is a great position for jwholla. where now the MochaBear is kind of just sending his units in. He's Thor's tank and